While the global economy has expanded at a moderate pace this year, there are ripple effects across the world. So the big question is, could a recession be in the cards? Joining us today is certified financial planner, professional, and your financial quarterback, Jim Lineweaver. Always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you as well.
All right, so we're talking about recession. It's all over the headlines. We're talking about tariffs. We have them, and then they're on pause. There's so much to think about.
Yeah.
What should we really be focusing on at this point?
Well, the market's been on a roller coaster, right? So JP Morgan came out earlier this year, and they had a probability of a recession this year of 30%. Well, more recently, that went to 60%. But maybe with some of this past week's market, fluctuation, maybe that's come down a little bit.
Okay.
But the Atlanta Fed forecasted that the first quarter's GDP is about minus 2.8. So that means if we get 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, that's a recession.
Okay.
So we do have to be careful.
All right, so obviously you're talking about a lot of different facts and figures. This is why I love when you come in, because I have so many questions. You have all the answers. I know you can't see into the future, but does this mean a recession is on the way?
Well, it could be, but if we really look at it's more about people need to be concerned about the volatility in the market and what they do with their portfolios. Because if you look at the last 100 years, about 60% of the time we've had 10% corrections or more, and 40% of the time we've had 15% or more. But the good news is that whenever we've had these 15 to 20% corrections in the market or so, on average it ends the year actually up about 15%. Now our analysts, because we have 4 chartered financial analysts that really run and manage our portfolios for us, they don't think it's going to get that high this year. But if we can get back to single digits from what we're going through, that would not be a bad year for the market.
So you mentioned feeling the volatility of the market. For the people that are watching that are feeling those strains, the pressure, I think sometimes the knee-jerk reaction is to say, well then Jim, you know what, I need to pull my money out of the market.
Yeah.
But that's probably not always the best case scenario.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's some statistics out there that can help people kind of get rid of some of these fears and control their emotions a little bit. So if you look at the market and you go back to 1970, there's been 25 corrections. There's been 12 actually bear markets. Bears are bad, bulls are good. And there's been 7 crashes, okay? But throughout that whole time, the market still averaged about 10.8%, right?
Okay.
So what do you do during this volatility? And unfortunately, people that may want to pull their money out, they're trying to be reactive when really their advisors themselves should be proactive.
Okay.
So when you build a portfolio, you basically make it up of 3 components. You're going to have stocks in some fashion, either growth or value or a combination. You're going to have bonds, and then you have to build in protection. And the key is this protection has to be able to give the stocks about 2 to 3 years in any given time so that you don't have to sell stocks, maybe if you're in retirement, to get you your income. So it's really all about making sure that you build the portfolio properly going in so that you can weather storms like this, because nobody has a crystal ball about when they're going to happen.
Right. So you're going to experience this volatility, but basically what I'm hearing from you is as long as you're prepared and have a plan of action, you're going to be okay. When I first saw you today, I said, "Are you really busy?" To which you replied,
yeah, no, it's not. And we are.
I mean, you are, but not in a negative way.
No, we're not. And the phone's not ringing off the hook.
Right.
Because we build this protection into our clients' portfolios. And a while ago, we added gold to the portfolios. We added more about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Right.
So we're being proactive with the portfolios, and that's really helped. And then when you add in this protection layer, that really can smooth out some of the volatility that you're seeing. Because also when you say people pulling out of the market, if you go back to 1980, what ends up happening is if you just had $10,000, it would have grown to about $1.8 million in the market.
Wow.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
But if you missed the 10 best days in those 45 years, your value of that 1.6 would only be worth about $730,000. You would have missed $900,000 worth of growth. And that's just 10 days in 45 years.
Right.
So that just proves that you can't time the market, but you need to be with somebody that's a fiduciary, can be proactive, and really has a team that can really customize a portfolio for your goals and objectives.
your headquarters are in Valley View.
We're in Valley View.
And you've been around for how many years now?
Yeah, well, I'm showing my age. I can't get rid of the gray hair anymore, but about 32 years.
Don't worry, it's all right. So, Jim, you are obviously the financial quarterback in every sense of the word. So if anyone is looking for a second opinion, or maybe they want a clear plan of action, it sounds like you guys are the place to go, and you're the people to talk to.
Happy to help them and give them a second opinion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.